Well, welcome everyone to another presentation for the 30 Goals Conference. And this is our last day, so we're ready to be inspired by Vicky. And she is a foreign language teacher of English, Italian, and Greek with approximately 20 years of experience. For over 15 years, she's been preparing students for English language exams. She has an MA in education. She has lots and lots of studies behind her, and then also she's also done a lot of projects, and the reason we had her with the 30 goals is because she's a recent member who has really jumped in and posted a lot of the goals, and she's very supportive as well. So I'm going to let her now inspire you.
Thank you so much, Shelley, for the presentation and for everything. And welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. It's really hot right now in Greece. I think it's really hot everywhere in the Mediterranean. So let's see. Today my presentation is a kind of a reflection about blogging for the 30 goals. So over a year ago, I felt the need to start writing again. At the time, recession in Greece had brought along several problems, and I needed to do something to get away. I needed to be creative again, just to keep my mind off these problems. I've always been creative, at least that's how I consider myself. But now, at the time, I needed to do something different. Yet I was hesitant. I was not sure where to begin from. And this is when I started connecting with some educators from around the world on social media. The one that impressed me the most, of course, was Vicky Loras, whom I found very easy to approach and to talk to. I started reading her blog, and that's how I was introduced to the 30 Goals team. As simple as that. I saw Vicky writing about the 30 goals and I got intrigued. So I decided to join Shelley's team more than a year ago now. And this is when I started blogging. I remember that I was talking to Vicky about my hesitations. I wanted to start writing again, and why not blogging? But I also knew that I led quite a hectic professional life, especially at certain times of the academic year. It would be quite difficult for me to keep up and write posts regularly. She told me I should not worry about something like that I should just follow my heart and do what I like. She also said I don't have to write just to write. If and whenever I felt the need to do so, if and whenever I felt I did have something to say, I should just go ahead and write. This was such a great relief to me. Of course, it was not only Vicky. So joining the 30 Goals, I was introduced to Theodora Papageorgiou, and she was already a member. She jumped in to help me, to give advice immediately when I started asking questions about how everything worked. She was encouraging and told me I could start from literally anywhere. And that was one of the best reasons why I enjoyed the 30 Goals so much. As Shelley writes, describing these goals, the goals can be completed at your own pace, which means that there is no specific time framework within which you need to write. You can start anywhere, and the truth is that there are so many goals to choose from even the past years, that the only thing that you have to do is just take a pick. They are manageable, which is great, especially for beginner writers, teachers, but it's also great for older teachers who have no or little writing experience. They help you reflect on your experiences. And the most important, they help you regain your spark and confidence in teaching. These two last qualities I consider so very important, especially when we're talking about older teachers who sometimes feel suffocated in their working routine. And in this way, they can find actually a way out. And so I did. I started writing again using this project because it allowed me to write at my own pace. I have to admit, though, that my first steps were very tentative. Yet, I quickly realized that writing about my lessons, about my views on education, was hugely rewarding. What a great way to sort out my ideas, reflect on my own practice. And to my surprise, there were several people that started to show an interest. They encouraged me to continue. My first blog post, it was on Goal 12, Why Do I Teach? The responses were great. People sent me messages telling me how much they enjoyed it, what they liked about my way of writing. The truth is that, though, that until last year, I was mainly used to writing essays. Reflecting was something that, believe it or not, I did not find easy. And the question remained in my head, why reflect publicly? Well, reflective thinking in teaching is associated with the work of John Dewey. And Dewey suggested that reflection begins with a dilemma. Effective teachers suspend making conclusions about the dilemma in order to gather information, study the problem, even gain new knowledge, and then come to a decision. This whole process, basically, brings about new learning. So this was the main reason that I decided that I just have to go for it and do it. Now, Carol Rogers, a couple of years ago, she wrote an article about John Dewey's work and reflective thinking, and she saw 4 criteria emerge from Dewey's work that characterize reflection. The first one is that reflection is a meaning-making process that moves the learner from one experience into the next with a deeper understanding of its relationships with and its connections to other experiences and ideas. Reflection is also a systematic, rigorous way of thinking, with its roots in scientific inquiry. Third, reflection needs to happen in community, in interaction with others, something that I will talk about soon. And last, it requires attitudes that value the personal and intellectual growth of oneself and others. Blogging for the 30 Goals has provided me with a great opportunity to think deeper about my experiences, as well as experiment and present my work. It made me stop and think about the problems that I faced in my teaching experience and practice. It made me spend more time thinking about them. And it also made me come to terms with reflection as I saw it. It also gave me great opportunities to present my thoughts, my ideas, and also to present my work with students, as well as lesson plans. The truth is that a couple of months later, when I felt more confident, I even started interviewing other colleagues, presenting their work. And this year, while I was working for my PGC in Technology Enhanced Learning, I started blogging about this experience and also posting thoughts about what I was doing at the time, reviews of articles that I was studying. Of course, this year I didn't neglect on writing also about the new goals of the 30 goals. Most importantly, though, it made me feel part of a community of bloggers. It gave me the pleasure of exchanging ideas, meeting a variety of teachers from different places of the world. It has been a great start, a great journey, and of course I'm sure that it will continue. So this valuable experience has already taught me a lot, and I would like to share some last thoughts with you now. I know that several people are interested in joining the blogging community, so I picked a couple of do's and don'ts that perhaps you would like to consider when starting your own blog. So if you feel the need to reflect on your teaching practice, just follow your heart. Just do what Vicky Loras told me. Go ahead and do it. If that's what you have in your heart, you shouldn't hesitate. On the other hand, if you want to start blogging and you lack the confidence or you don't really know where to begin with, where to start, then 30 Goals is an excellent choice because it's going to give you so many ideas to start you writing. And then there is such a huge community behind it to support you. Most of the times, a lot of first-time bloggers, they are worried about the hits they're going to get, the number of visitors that they will have. They're afraid that nobody will be there, too many. It doesn't matter really because that's not the point. And, you know, the truth is it doesn't happen immediately either. It takes time. Also, a good thing is that you shouldn't underestimate what you think about your writing. If you think that it's too ordinary, then let me tell you something. It's not. If you're writing about your teaching experiences, then these are going to be interesting anyway. Especially if you're writing because you are torn between a dilemma. When you are, you have a dilemma, you're thinking about it, if you start writing and blogging about it, chances are that you might find a solution as well. Also, another worry that we might have is about the length of our posts. Well, okay, the general advice is keep it short. Don't make them too long because you want to attract other readers' attention. So very long posts tend to be discouraging. On the other hand, drawing from my experience too, sometimes it also depends on how much you really want to share. If you feel that you have to say more, then go ahead. Bring your students into the game too. Don't just talk about them. Use the 30 Goals as an opportunity for them to write too. This is actually the project, my project for the next year with my college students. Again, don't worry too much about who is going to read it. Once you write down your thoughts, you know what? You might be surprised about how many people will identify with you. I've seen it happen, not just with my post, but with so many other bloggers. Experiment as much as you like. Do not just write about past experiences or current ones. Create your experiences too. Pick one of the goals about something you have never tried before. Try it out with your students and then blog about it. It makes a difference. One of the last things that I have to tell you is you have to remember, you have to liaise with the rest of the bloggers. Visit their blogs. Read what you find interesting. Leave comments. Start a discussion. This is what 30 Goals is about. This is what blogging is about. So don't wait. If you want to start blogging now. You won't regret it. This is my blog. Thank you so much for your time. Shelley, thank you so much for the great opportunity, not just of this conference, conference, but of and the 30 goals. It's been great. I can't wait to continue writing about it. I have included some references for anyone who might be interested. But before I leave you, I want 1 more minute of your time. Remember to stand by my country. Visit it. Thank you.
Well, that was very, very beautiful. I'm actually sharing one of your quotes. I really liked your first advice to follow your heart and just do it. And I like that you also included that if you want to write long, then write long. And if even though short posts, and there's definitely some analytics there of what you should and shouldn't do. Definitely, I think your advice is great, to follow your heart. Let's go ahead and get you back on video here. And Christina is going to let you know some comments and or questions from the audience.
Okay, so I have a few comments that I think you should know about. I would start with Peggy. She says she loves personal stories, and in my opinion, I love them too. She says that meeting and connecting with many new people from the shout-outs in the presentations, and those first responses really encourage you to keep writing. And meet a teacher.
Vicky, can you try taking off your screen share?
Okay, yeah.
And that way we can see you.
Now we see you.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, then Micha teacher says, so interesting how many of these stories start with people turning online to find way out of dark times in daily lives like depression or society, etc., and finding the support they need. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's very true. Donna McTavish, she says, I'm wanting to blog, but so unsure where to start. This is very inspiring. So
I was too, but that was the point. That was the point exactly why I joined the 30 Goals, because I felt the same unsure, the same uncertainty about what am I going to do. And as I said, I was not used at reflecting so much, and I actually found it quite hard, because whenever I tried to write reflections, basically I ended up writing short essays.
Yeah. Well, I have a question myself, if I may ask. Then I will go on with the comments. What was the hardest part in starting blogging for you, of course?
Well, the hardest part was, I'll tell you what, I saw a lot of other bloggers that had a very, very specific purpose for their blog. And at the time, I didn't want to do something like that. I did create a different blog about some specific exams that I prepare my students for, but I wanted to do something different. At the same time, I kind of, for a stupid reason, I kind of felt guilty for not, allowing myself to feel free to just write about things. And that passed, though. That was my initial reaction. That's why I kept hesitating for the first blog post. Like, was I doing the right thing? Was I not doing it? Is it just going to be 30 goals? I think that was the hardest time for me. But as I said, that passed quickly,
Yeah, it does. Well, Tracy Sheriff says, when you blog, it's also a good way to see your personal growth over time. Do you agree with this? Do you feel this?
Yes, I think so, because I think that one reason that you blog is, of course, for the community and because you want to get your ideas out there and you want to try to find like-minded people or even people with different opinions because you want to be engaged in debate, in discussion, in something very, very productive for you. So you actually are opting for a transformation as well sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And Renee from Fort Lauderdale, she says that your talk is also very appropriate for her, as she's just got the courage to jump in and start my blog. I mean, her blog.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think you have inspired a lot of the people in the audience.
Oh, this is really
Because
encouraging
it
because.
is. Now, I have another question of my own. Vicky, when do you write? Do you have a writing routine, or
No.
it just happens? How does it work with you?
Well, okay. To be honest, it depends. Sometimes I do plan things ahead, but a lot of times it just happens. I mean, I'm having a class, I'm having a lesson, and then I start thinking about several things. And if we're talking about the 30 goals, more specific, you know, I've seen the goals. So a lot of times I don't try something if there is no inspiration. But a lot of times while I'm teaching, something comes up. And I think that what I do is that I try to keep some notes, and then when I go back home, it doesn't matter what time it is. If I'm really into this, then I start writing. Some other times I plan it. So I'm thinking about what I want to write, so I do a little bit of research or something more practical, and then writing about it. So it depends.
Okay, okay. And you know there are lots of platforms like EduBlog and WordPress and Weebly. Do you have any suggestions for those who are just starting? Is there a better one than the other? I'm not advertising anything. I'm just asking. Is it difficult to deal with it when we start?
I use WordPress. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Precisely.
okay. I use WordPress for both my blogs because I find them user-friendly.
Okay.
But other people have used various things, and a lot of other people are happy with anything else. I tend to be, I'm very conservative at these things. I mean, if I'm happy with something, then I stick to it.
You stick
I
to
don't
it.
change it, yes.
So you would advise that WordPress, for example, for you it's user-friendly, right?
Yes, for me it
Well,
is.
yeah, I have Meet Your Teacher here making a request. You showed a list of 10 do's and don'ts for blogging. Is there any chance we can have access to that list or the slides?
Yeah, the slides, I can.
Are you going to upload them somewhere? No.
Yeah, it depends what you want me to do. I can. I mean, I can do it even now. If I can try and upload them now, post them now on the chat.
You can? That would be great.
And you can also, if you get them to me or Peggy George, you can always email them, and then we're going to go ahead and we can post it on your page.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll try and do it now, and I don't know if I can do it. I'm not sure if I can do it. Can I do it on the chat box? I mean,
you can what you can do is you can give us the link if you have a link.
I don't have a link, but you know what I can do? The easiest thing right now for me is to just send it to your mail right now. Yes?
I think you already sent it to my mail, so if you want me to just post that, do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
then you can just share it, and I'll also share it later along with the link of the presentation on my blog as well.
Okay, that sounds fantastic.
But you go ahead and share it right now.
Okay, so we will all benefit from your wise advice. Okay. Well, I think we're done with questions. I don't know, Shelley, if you want to add anything.
I just want to thank you again for taking part in this, and you've been so inspiring. See, you inspired lots and lots of people. So thank you so much, and thank you for continuing to be a part of the community, because
Oh, for sure, for sure.
all of these, all of your advice and all of you in the community, then we wouldn't have one. So thank you again.
Thank you, Shelley, for everything. Thank you, Christina, for moderating as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.